This is Drano's back at it again, bringing you another video. So for today, not necessarily a gameplay or anything like that, just kind of diversifying my content for now. But for those who don't know, the LCQ tournament just ended this past weekend, and that actually brings us to our final 16 for the Madden Bowl. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of give my predictions as far as who I think is going to make it out of their groups. Other than that, and then also I'll probably give who I think is going to be my favorite to win the whole thing, and then we could just go ahead and move forward from there. But as you guys can see, I do have the Madden Championship Series Twitter page up here. If you guys don't know, I do have a Twitter as well. Let me pull it up here on my end. It's just at Dre_knows_. I know kind of weird here. If you guys aren't following me, go ahead and check out my Twitter. And also, I do have an all my links page here where it basically has like all my social media presences. So go ahead and check that out. But enough of that. Let me just go back to the Madden Championship Series page here. So, like I said, just gonna kind of give my thoughts on the groups here. Just based off of my experience from seeing, because I did see most of these competitors at the at least at the Classic whenever I was there. Obviously, the game has changed a lot since the Classic, so going to be interesting to see kind of whose game has changed since then, especially, after the first 3 tournaments of the year. So, that being said, jumping into the first group here on May 6th, we've got Joke, Bugs, Volt, and Pavin. So obviously we have 2 belt winners in this group. We have Volt and Pavin. Obviously those are definitely going to be tough outs. And then we've got Joke, who always seems to find something coming into the year. Like for example, and I was actually watching Dubby's podcast. If you guys don't know, he does kind of do his own podcasts on Twitch and also on YouTube. He did bring up a good point talking about how Joke found nasty streak with the Eagles at the Classic and then found the QB blast out of the Taysom Hill package. So definitely going to be looking out for that. He always finds a little wrinkle, a little something to work with. And then Bugs, who, he always makes deep runs in tournaments and then for whatever reason just comes up short, unfortunately. In that case, he's part of the Needed Gaming crew there. And then Pavin, the Madden 19 winner, our Madden 19 Club Series Championship winner, who actually had to make it at LCQ, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting that coming into the year. And then we've got Volt, who actually won this year's Club Series. So obviously, gonna be a tough group there. But if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, just looking through here, looks like top three in each group advance. And then this is just kind of how the bracket would look like, but I'm not going to go that far into detail here. But as far as who I think is going to make it out, I think for sure Joke is going to make it out. Obviously, he's been pretty consistent from start to finish all year, so I think Joke makes it out of the group. And then I think with Pavin really playing in that LCQ definitely helped. I think LCQ is one of those things where it can get you in a rhythm, at least from what I've noticed. It can definitely get you in a rhythm and get you hot at the right time. So I think Pavin makes it out of the group. So really, in this case, it comes down to Volt and Bugs. And in this case, I'm going to give it to Bugs, actually, because, there's word around the street that Volt, he hasn't really been playing the game that much since he won the Madden Club Series. But, I'm not going to say that he's going to fold or just lay down either. I still think he'll be a tough out. But I think especially with Madden, it's one of those things where, you have to play it pretty consistently, especially considering the number of updates that they've made throughout the years. So in this group, I'm going to go ahead and say Joke, Bugs, and Pavin make it out of the group. So coming into the next group right here, May 7th, to me, I think this is probably the hardest group with Young Kiv, another belt winner from Madden. I think it was 18, if I'm not mistaken. Madden 18, he won the Madden Bowl. And then we've got Mo, who's a 2-time belt winner. Who his last tournament win was at the Classic this year, and then we've got Drini, who has been basically kind of the staple, one of the top names in the MCS, with him winning 2 belts as well, winning last year's Madden Bowl. And then we've got Mills, who, he's definitely not a slouch either. He won the Club Series for the Texans, and then I know his name popped up a little bit too. I'm not sure if it was 18. I think it was 17 whenever he made it to the Madden Challenge, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I know he's been, well respected in the community as well, in that case. But, in this case, I think if I'm going to pick my top 3 to come out of the group, I think I'm just going to go with the belt winners in this case. Going to go with Kiv, Mo, and Drini in this case. Obviously, they've proven that they could do it on the stage, and that's nothing against Mills. I just think that he kind of got a tough draw with this group that he's in. I think had he made it into any other group, he'd have a really good chance, but he definitely drew a tough group in this case. But, with Madden, it's so unpredictable that, it wouldn't surprise me if any of the other guys didn't make it and got cut short. As with all these groups, I think it's so unpredictable. It's tough to call, but at least for me, just from my prediction, I'm going to go with Drini, Kevin, Mo making it out of this group. So next group we have is Noah, who actually won the past Madden Challenge. We've got Clef, we've got Skeeman, and then we've got Lil Man. So again, another solid group here. Obviously, there is a belt winner, and then Clef has been kind of everyone's favorite here recently. Over the past couple tournaments, and he's made it far. He's just kind of in a similar situation as Bugs, where he's just kind of come short, unfortunately. And then Skeeman, I know he made a deep run in the club championships, and then Lil Man, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he made a run in the club series, as well as a challenge, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back and look. But I think in this case, it'll be interesting to see the matchups, especially with Clef and Noah. That's going to be a rematch of the Madden Challenge Championship. So obviously Clef's going to be, coming for revenge in that case, and, trying to come for a little get back in that one. But I think in this case, Clef and Skeeman are for sure in my opinion. Just obviously both of them veterans in the game now. And then really I think at this point it comes down to Noah and Little Man. And I think in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Noah just because really he's been... If he could bring that same defense that he brought in the challenge, man, watch out, because he was hit-sticking everyone, getting interceptions like crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and some people might consider an upset just because of the experience that Low Man has. But I'm going to go ahead and give Noah the third spot in this group. So next spot we got here, we've got Henry, we've got Rage, we got Wesley and D-Croft. So another just solid, just tough group in this case. Henry, who's definitely made a name for himself this year. Making, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he's made every single MCS tournament this year, every live event. So obviously that speaks for itself as far as where he's at as a player. Rage is also, he's been in the community for a while now. He's a well-regarded player. Wesley, with his with his offense, I think he's definitely more known as an offensive player for sure. He's done well. I want to say he's won a club series a couple times now, although I think he fell short this season with because he actually made it to the final against Mills. So that was just a tough draw. But Wesley's still, one of the better players in the community as well. And then we got D-Croft, who actually won the LCQ tournament. And he's actually the Seahawks Club champion winner in that case. So obviously just another group. I want to say this might be the biggest unknown group just because, obviously there's no belt winners in this group, but, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these guys made a deep run either. I think this definitely has kind of more of a sleeper type vibe where whoever makes it, comes out, has potential to make a deep run. So in this case for me, I think for sure the guys who are shoo-in are Henry and Wesley. just based off of kind of their past experience, especially in this year. I think Wesley's offense is solid, and then Henry just a model of consistency within Madden. Anyways, I think he's a shoe-in at least out of his group, and then really at this point, I think it comes down to Rage and Decroft for the final spot. From what I've seen, I think a lot of people are counting out Rage, which that can be kind of dangerous because obviously he could definitely play that underdog role and really try to overcome or try to take out one of the top guys in his group. But I think in this case, similar to where what I was talking about with Pavin earlier. I think with having that rhythm and playing in LCQ, whereas some of these other guys may have been kind of off and on with playing Madden, I think that plays to Decroft's advantage, especially with his defense. His defense looked really, really good in LCQ, so it wouldn't surprise me in this case if he comes out, although, it wouldn't surprise me either if Rage came out in that final spot either. So, but I think in this case, my prediction, definitely going to go ahead and give it to Henry, Wesley, and Decroft. And then really for the winner of the whole tournament, I think that's kind of a toss-up. I think it's just a matter of like how I was saying with LCQ. I think it's just a matter of who gets hot at the right time, who can limit the amount of mistakes. And honestly, I think it's a matter of who plays the best defensively. Part of me wants to say Joke because I think for him it's only a matter of time for him to finally get a belt. But then, you look at the guys in groups in the May 7th group. I mean, any of those guys could really come out and win a belt there. So we'll take a look. This is just kind of my prediction video as far as who makes it out of groups. I'll make another video once we get kind of like the wild cards and more of the brackets set. Like once this actually gets filled up and once we get a better idea as far as who makes it out of group, I'll make a follow-up video just so I could give a better, or at least my prediction as far as who I think is going to win the video or who's going to win the tournament here. But like I said before, just to kind of recap one last time, we've got Joke, Bogues, Pavin making out of this group. We've got Kiv, Drini, Mo out of the May 7th group. Then I've got Clef, Scheme, and Noah out of the May 8th group. And then rounding things off, we've got Wesley, Henry, and Decroft making out of the May 9th group. So, again, this is just a prediction video. This is just opinion. I'm not saying that this is fact. So if any of the competitors do see this, listen, it's no shot. If anything, just use this as motivation and prove me wrong. I'll definitely give credit where credit is due, no doubt. So, so if you guys did enjoy the video, again, just trying to do things a little bit differently on the channel, especially with Madden kind of dying down outside of, for these competitors, just trying to make some things happen this year, and really just to try to diversify my content here. So if you guys did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Means a lot to me in that case. We've seen some growth over the last couple weeks. It's exciting. Definitely not where we want to be, but it's definitely, it's one of those things where you got to trust the process, as cliche as that is. And then if you guys are looking forward to more content like this, the follow-up video once the brackets come out, go ahead and hit the sub button. That way you'll know, and also hit post notifications just so you know exactly when that video gets posted. And until the next one, guys, this is Dre Knows, and I'm signing out. Peace.